Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where I gotta admit, I'm wondering if we made the wrong choice as far as our friends go. Cause like this is happening now. Blue is making some progress in this war. Let's just take a moment here and have a look at the diplomatic situation. So Green's at war with literally everybody, everybody who isn't me. The Morgar are having a thing, but okay, Cold War with you two. So you're at war with those, and you're friends with these, and it does... Yep, okay, it sure does appear that this power block is, like, remaining strong and friendly. And now I'm looking at this and thinking, mayhap it is time to press that accept button. Can we get Blue to be okay? They're no longer quite so positive on peace. It would be hard to get them to be friends with us. I saw something really move the needle there. It was all this Palladian. That is the only thing though. So there's no way, there's no universe here where we get them to actually accept us. Except that perhaps making friends with Purple will help a little bit, because then we get that mutual friend modifier. The thing is, we're about to finish Difference Engine, and stuff's going to get a little testy. And Blue is right on our border, right? Like, during the winter, they can walk into our cities. So having a little bit of positive diplomatic feeling with them, I think is probably pretty worthwhile. I'm just going to go ahead and... That didn't make a noise. That's weird, but okay. Because, like, this war... Let's take a look at the meters again. I know we did this a little bit last time. So, they jumped way up here to... What is that? 1.6 million military power. I don't know how they did this. It took them a while, too, right? It's something they've been working on. How has the... What am I looking for here? Expansion numbers. So, you can see Green here losing territory... But overall, things are not changing too much. Blue has passed Green, though, and if Blue is at war with both Green and the Morgar, then I gotta wonder... I'm scared. I'm scared, y'all. I have a fear. I do think that at this point, there's not much we can do. We kind of just have to hope. I'm a little bit wondering if we maybe want to discharge a 15% building bonus for half a point of resources per extractor. Oh, maybe, because we have 6 titanium extractors, right? Probably not. This does only apply to buildings. So it doesn't affect stockpiles. And I believe that burrows do count as buildings for this bonus, but I'm 100% certain. I'm not. I'm like 90% certain that stockpiles don't. So honestly, maybe it would be worth jumping over. I certainly don't want to veer off and research another slot, because that's just going to add to the cost of our further researches. Because if I do that, we are talking about an extra 3 titanium per turn, probably. Are we building anything of, like, terrible import anywhere? We are still putting together some things that have a pretty big impact. Yeah, alright, I'm going to leave it for right now. And we're going to push our faction quest forward as best we can, and we're just going to hope. A lot of the AI... have a lot of reason to be distracted. They have a lot of other things going on they have to pay attention to. Blue's war is probably going to keep them distracted for a good long time. So, again, hopefully, we just won't actually draw very much attention from any of the AI until we hit like 3 victory tacks. Oh, good. What a wonderful time for me to suddenly have hiccups. Yeah, but hopefully we won't draw lethal attention until we're close enough to the game that we can just rush it out without having to worry about whether or not the other people can beat us in a war. What if we just finish the game before Blue's troops even show up, right? Okay, I don't like the number of notifications that arrived there. That's interesting. Although it is worth noting, all of those are offer type notifications. Arts Council for Open Borders. That's not happening. Ah, you are the person who kidnapped my hero. I accept. I'm just all the way in on friends with everybody at this point. Picking sides has proven to be a foolish endeavor. We shouldn't have to manual this, but I'm just in case. I mean, you know, our troops are already wounded, and they're kind of terrible at fighting, so I'm just gonna sequester them way in the back corner and put them in hold position mode, and let the archer and the militia do all the fighting. There is a button on the previous screen for what our default troop stance should be, and I did not switch it to hold position, but I absolutely should have. Oh, and somebody's way over here. I didn't even notice. Okay, well, you do that as well. You know what? Maybe it's not even going to matter. Maybe it turns out not to matter at all. All right, well, that's 2 of 3. We do not know where the other army is, right? Those were the 2 that we had seen. Guess we'll grab some pearls and then we'll just... Aha, there they are. I found them. Okay, well, we'll kill them next turn, and maybe actually... That's not the button I wanted. There we go. All right. We'll kill him next turn and actually get that set up. Get our faction quest finally moved forward. So, what is next? Obviously, doubling the industry being poured into the stockpiles is pretty valuable. There's an argument to be made that the sort of the careful move is to take Serum of Eteru now in case we get attacked. And of course, the earlier that we take self-driving plows, the more meaningful it's going to be. I think we're going to go self-driving plows. I think we would benefit a lot from having the bonus population. Yeah, let's do that. So 9 turns on the next one. And this is where we can start firing off those stockpiles and stuff, and I think probably we ought to. Well, I mean, we could hold them for like a final burn phase. I guess it depends on how many I think I'm going to actually complete. You know what? I think I am going to hold on to them. Everybody knows how many I have, but I don't know if the AI is capable of, like, doing the math in that way, you know? Like, if they will think about, like, we know this player has this many victory techs, plus they have this many stockpiles, and that means we have this many turns to react. I don't think the AI is programmed to do that sort of thing. So, Sharan... We already have... Yeah, we already have that building in most places. Like, Janeldis and Matanch are both relatively high value, and although Matanch covers a lot of tiles, it doesn't cover that many tiles with natural science output. So I do think here is the next place. And I love that it gets done in 3 turns without me refocusing to industry. So we lose 300 science for that. You know what? I'm not going to refocus. Pink is still decreasing diplomatic costs with us. Weird stuff. Very strange moves on their part. Don't really understand their play. Okay, everybody's already over on here. So, this is not happening. This might be. This is not happening. What do they want? Arts Council and Imperial News Networks. These are both broad effectiveness things. However, at this point in the game, you have 1 victory technology already, right? 2, in fact. So at this point in the game, I'm not certain that they would get more benefit from having those technologies, that they would get enough benefit from having those technologies to offset the amount of extra cost it's going to add to their final victory tax. And also, I do want my hero back. Let's counter. I hear what you're saying. Have you considered also we're best friends? I teach you about fluid biomechanics. I give you some Palladian. This actually works? Really? Okay. I'm into it. I'll give you like 20 of this and then 20 of the other. I'm trying to maintain some stocks so that we can build weapons and stuff if we need to. Do we want to make this deal a little bit more in their favor? Yeah, maybe. What if I do like 40 and 40? That leaves us with still some supply, but that's enough bonus that they'll view this as a thing in their favor. How much was Alliance off by? Well, okay, way too much, way too much. This is the deal. Okay, now we're at peace with everybody. And I got my Ululani Rawi back, which I much appreciate. Remember, we still haven't equipped our heroes with the trinket yet because the cost of titanium has been so high. So, actually, you know what? Let's industry focus everybody here, and then as soon as this building is approaching done, I think maybe we do swap our assimilate. Are there any of the heroes that are just sitting here? No, okay, it looks like everybody's... I didn't realize there was an unspent level up on that person. Okay. Just running up in my territory and kidnapping people. What's wrong with you? It does seem like this is maybe not the appropriate place for that spy anymore, but I also don't know at this point. That spy is getting close to being high level. I wonder if we would even have time to insinuate her into one of Blue's cities in a way that would matter. Because it has taken her this long to build up just to level 3, even with all of her espionage points. I'm gonna leave it. That's where I'm at on this. So yeah, my point with the fact that our trinkets are not correct yet and everything is that we still have some significant gains to make in terms of research rate. So 9 turns per victory tech is a little grim right now on turn 130, but we still have some acceleration to do. And who knows, it might end up being fast enough as it is because the whole world's very distracted. Yep, Exit has sadly been poisoned out. 432, man. All right. Please reactivate the spices. Never let the spices lapse. Once again, just for absolute safety, because I do not want to lose a single unit in a silly way if I don't absolutely have to. And I've had so many bad experiences in the past where the AI is like, oh yeah, we had them just run forward at full speed while screaming. Was that not what you wanted? You should have specified. So this is me specifying. Go back. Go this way. There we go. Okay, and y'all stand still. And everybody just chill out. And yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter who Temak Rayan shoots at, because he's likely to kill him in a single hit no matter what. Everybody just relax. Now again, we have spells, and we could use spells to make this easier, but like, obviously we're a little dust crunched right now. Hooray! We got Quicksilver. For a period of 10 turns, approval in Lies must be at happy, and for doing so, we will get the ability to construct the Altar of Transcendence. Okay, that's neat. Well, I don't think we're going to have any trouble keeping Lies happy. That seems like a thing that's probably going to occur. All right, let's go sell some things at the marketplace because I would love to be able to use my hero. So Quicksilver is a thing we don't really need. Just running up in my cities and poisoning my people. All right, there we go. That's what that city's supposed to look like. So yeah, we're gonna give this one more turn, and then we're gonna refocus our minor faction. So you're level 2. I guess we build here, right? Because that'll level this up. And yep, you're science focused. You can definitely science focus from there. Is there a city? How many cities are not currently all in on science? Janeldas, does it need to be like that? We could probably move some people. Here in Sayap, we should definitely move people. They just finished their thing pretty recently, but I think I have spent a turn or two at least with them on the wrong resource. How many people actually need to be on that for that to... Okay, none. Cool. Yeah, so we'll run one more turn of the building discount just to make sure these two things finish. Then we'll swap over to lots of titanium. And I guess you're just pearl hunting at this point? We're just diving for pearls? Do we have many other... not in Vision. And a couple of other single pearls floating around. Okay, that's a pretty big one there. All right, you can grab that next turn. Yeah, we'll get a whole bunch. And is that everything? Yes, everybody's building. Okay. So, how long are my pillars? Oh, my pillars ran out. That's right. That's right. That was the thing that happened. I was supposed to resolve that at the end of the last episode. Well, we should probably do it then. Let's, all right. We don't have enough grass silk to run a booster. We can't buy enough grass silk to run a booster, so let's just go ahead and deal with that. The blood crystal's coming in real slowly, and honestly, I don't think it's going to help that much, even if we do end up in a war, so let's sell some of that off. The emeralds give us bonus fortification on our cities and may turn out to be relevant, so while we're not running the booster currently, I'm reluctant to sell too low on that. This stuff's pretty valuable. We can part with some of that, bringing that in at 4. That's going to go up to 6 per turn. Honestly, we could probably sell even lower. And then, yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Let's build some pillars. Hey, SB, do you need science to win a science victory? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't seem that important. So... we definitely want to build more pillars around Gleka, right? This is a pretty good one. That pillar... God, I wish this wasn't ruins. I wish I could put a pillar right there. It'd be so good. Still, though, even pillars just kind of around that area are pretty strong. So this is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles exploited. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is better. Yeah, it is a real crying shame, though. All right, we don't have to put them all around here, but you know, this city is getting a pretty significant bonus on the science that it's dredging up from the tiles, so it is worth putting them in any spot that's even half good. And then over here, we could do kind of a similar thing around the edges. How much is this next one going to be? 743. So one more would be 900. I can make 900. Just like Tony Hawk said that one time. I find that there are a lot of crossovers. You know, there's a lot of parallels. Every single time I am playing a 4X game, I'm like, gee, it sure is a good thing I played all that THPS 2. Because otherwise, I don't know how I would be dealing with this. Okay, what if I was just like good at science? Huh? What about that? All right, let's jump over to our single Silix assimilation. So we're gaining ground on people pretty quickly here on this science victory. And maybe quickly enough that it's going to cause them to panic and destroy us. But we'll just hope not. We'll just hope that that is not the case. See, none of the other building stuff we're doing is like terribly critical. I mean, obviously, these statues are science, but they're not nearly as much. So let's go ahead and jump this over. I do think it was definitely correct to keep it Ursus as long as we did, because obviously that's a big discount. What is this? Okay, food production from water is back to normal. Pink just got a victory. Technology not even really worth thinking about. Chaka has been tamed by the unknown empire. Wait, is there a player we... I should probably have clicked zoom to that. You are running an army. Yeah, you're the army. The army Argbad Rose Valhalla. So it kind of doesn't matter what we do with you. This is one of our Andoms. 15% additional science, for sure. Okay, Chaka is now back under Valter control. Unskilled labor for 13 Hyperium. Interesting. I don't really see a reason not to do this. They probably don't have any stockpiles, right? Because why would you build them before having this? We go look. Obviously, peace is an inappropriate term now that we're all good friends. Do you have... No, okay, so... I bet they don't have the other stockpile tech either. This is a weird one. I'm going to take it because it seems like just 13 Hyperium for free. And keep in mind, that is the... when the AI offers a deal, that it's because they think that that deal is slanted in their favor. Oh, this would be a good thing to do. We should build that. So we might even get a little bit of the old diplomatic bonus for deals in the other player's favor off of that one, which is cool. I don't know if there's anything you can do at this point that will matter at all. You won't finish a Royal University before the game ends, probably. I guess a National Museum, in theory, could do something. Maybe. Yeah, a lot of these stockpiles we're working on are not actually going to finish. We just don't have anything better for the cities to be doing. So yeah, go grab that, and then we should probably run over here and grab these two before Blue decides to finally get on it with the land units that they're spawning. Look at them, they were thinking about it. Yeah, now they're pretending they were just gonna get in the water. I'm not buying it for a second. I guess let's just look around down here. There could be pearls down here. It would be very helpful to have actual watchtowers. Okay, that's a few. That's a couple. So it is looking more and more like maybe I was misinformed by the past. It's not remembering wrong. It's just remembering how things used to be different. And in fact, there are no pillar upgrades in the main quest. Maybe. I don't know. We got our pillar upgrades. They're doing fine work. But yeah, there definitely are more pillar levels available, right? Because this says +2 to +16, and our pillars are currently definitely only doing +6. I don't know. There are pearls over on the other continent, which are a little awkward to access. You should probably come over here and grab this now. Black spot's been lifted off of green. Still not interested in giving you... How do you not have public works? Also, why are you so eager for this deal? They really want to open their borders to me. Oh, yeah, that's true. What do you call it? Unassimilated the minor faction. So we did, in fact, fail a quest. How embarrassing. That is third victory tech on the Vaulters. Next winter looks like a bummer, but also probably not super relevant would be my feeling on that. So yeah, at this point we are just racing the Vaulters. It is just a question of whether I can apply efficiency more effectively than they can. And honestly, I don't have a great feeling about that. Boy, do I think our spy would even reach level 3? Because you can't even do a decreased science. Well, you can decrease science production a little bit at level 2. All right, you know what? I'm going to fire this off on blue. Partially wounded during the execution of the action, which is a shame. Or on the Morgar, rather, because the Vaulters are blue. And then we are going to unassign you from that city. Because they're going to respond with a roundup, almost certainly. So we'll just get you out of there. And this army will head up toward an area where we can get vision of a Vaulter city. But honestly, yeah, I think it's probably not going to have time to matter. And then now we have actual resource incomes, and oh my gosh, look at all the titanium. Yeah, that winter being as long as it was really sucked. Nobody's selling Moonleaf, and I mean, we know exactly why. Well, we should probably just buy a lot of titanium and then start equipping our heroes and stuff. It's still not cheap, but it is present. That's got to count for something. All right, so Wayward get ye this thing. Every package of 10 titanium we purchase is another upgrade. Should definitely do it in Gleka as well. Even more acceleration. Would you believe spying is occurring? Pink has changed their mind on which things we're doing. I don't know how Pink always has vision of my entire empire all of the time. It's annoying. I would like them to stop it. So they kidnapped Sitliawasi and they poisoned out Wayrasigo. All right, how much is it going to take to get Wayra back up? 325. That's not so bad. And we can totally do it. So at least this time we caught them, so we know who it was. But yeah, basically, so Pink is constantly losing. The thing that's crazy about this is Pink is constantly losing spies in my empire, right? We've seen their spies get caught and get wounded out of my cities repeatedly, over and over and over again. And yet, they still have spies in every damn city. All right. Hey, dude, What the hell does peace mean where you're from? Okay, it's on this screen. Where they appear. Give me back my dude. Nope, they are not going to do that. Well, that's a very annoying thing that you're doing. You know, building some spy defense technologies probably would have been smart. That would have been a good thing to put in our research queues prior to hitting the end game. It is absolutely not worth going back for it now. We will suffer greatly if we get any more technologies than we absolutely need. But yeah, probably a smart thing to have done. Oh, hey, this ruin still has its normal search in it. That's right, I searched it for the quest, and then I just didn't bother to grab it again afterward. So we have a handful of stockpiles. We'll maybe be able to rush some more, because we can certainly buy out stockpiles. Deposit 15 dye in these ruins for a reward that you don't care about. No, I'm good. Yeah, you're not wrong, my spies. We're in your empire, and they are pathetic. You are too busy fighting everybody else to really do anything about it, though, was my gambit. And I suspect that I am right. I think everybody on the world map has bigger fish to fry than me. Now, I will say green seems like they still might be a real victory threat. Okay, absolutely 10% more everything. Sounds wonderful. Janeldas. We have enough population for this to be worthwhile, and we actually do have, like, there's 2 water tiles in this city. It's madness. Okay, yeah, you were going to go get me vision of any Vaulter city at all? Something up here. Right, am I going to be able to see that city from there? Maybe not. I might have to get in the water. Unfortunately, the watchtower base positions are not really helpful here. Like, it is, in fact, going to have to be an army that goes and gets that for us. So is Hime the only place that needs instructions? It is. And honestly, Imperial funding would be pretty good right now. Is there still titanium? Nope. Very brief titanium flush onto the market. Well, then it is good that we are putting so many resources into getting our own titanium. What else do we want to be doing? We're still holding fervent. Oh, this should be running. There's no reason for us to run the emeralds yet. We are pushing up on the next empire plan, where, like, you know, some higher numbers are potentially viable. So keep in mind, building buyout probably does not refer to, or probably does not affect. Can we do 9,000? 9,000 seems unlikely. The thing is, I don't really want to apply any people to influence, so we're just going to kind of get what we get. So we're not going to be able to buy you any resources, so build a burrow. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but what if you just built a burrow? Do I want to be trying to level up this thing? Yeah, that's probably fine. That's a way to contribute. Alright, Sayap has also been governor targeted. Avarilia has also been governor targeted. Semhin has also been governor targeted. Like, no. That's ridiculous. Nobody has that many spies and that many resources. Because anybody who had that many spies and that many spare resources would be applying them to actually fighting the other players, right? Well, there's not much for it. There's not really anything I can do. Because again, at this point, it does not make sense to go back and research the stuff. So I guess just end turn. The problem is at this point, they are executing these things without getting caught and without getting their people sent home. Which means that when we get our governors back, they're just gonna do it again. Like there's no point in installing a new governor, because they would just also get kidnapped. And that is a shame. We're getting a lot of science out of some of those governors. God, look at this. They get a watchtower like right on the corner so they can see all the way into my district. The closest watchtower we get is here, I think. There's one way down there. Just terrible stuff. Alright, that's irrelevant. That is also probably irrelevant. That's relevant. I'd love to... There we go. Just get to... There we go. So remember, we're at peace, officially speaking. Cannot attack each other. So we're not in any overt danger here. You are probably going to build an abbey. Sure. I mean, there's nothing we can build here that's going to matter. The city's too small and weak. All right, how far are we from the Titan Bone booster? We would need to buy 20 Titan Bones. Is that a thing I can do? Yes, and as such, it is a thing I shall do. The Titan Bones totally do affect the rate of the stockpiles finishing. That actually may end up mattering, because each one of those stockpiles is, you know, it's not a huge amount relative to the amount of science that we're putting out now, but it does still matter. So grab this, and then that. And then I think we probably don't have anything else that we're really doing. We certainly can't afford to run... We could run roundups. My guess is that if we tried to run roundups, we would find that they just didn't accomplish anything. Because these spies have got to be so dug in. But I guess in some places it's not going to matter very much, right? Like this place is low enough. I really don't want to lower our rate of science at all. If we lower our rate of science by 50%, or just the contribution that comes from population by 50% for 4 turns, and it buys us governorship of those cities again, that's probably mostly worth it, but we would have to be sure we can get those governors back for it to be worthwhile, right? And there's no way that anybody's going to release our captured heroes. And the game's not still going to be happening in 28 turns, probably. So that being the case, it really does not seem like there is much of a point. How's the war going? You know, blue has not really made very much more progress. Although green is getting eaten up by the Morgar down here a little bit as well. And blue is carving through the Morgar at the same time. Right, because the AI does not prioritize very well. Everybody's at war with everybody, and we can't come up with the concept of like focusing on our mutual enemy long enough to bring them down. So realistically, I think at this point, realistically, the only player that can win the game is blue. Blue and us. And blue is ahead, but maybe not always invested in making the best possible decisions. And we have to hope that that is true enough that they let us sneak by, basically. All right, this way Resigo has also become the most inspirational as any leader has ever been. So here in Lais, you should have one of the things. Can I buy 2 more titanium? I can indeed. There is some. It is not cheap. Okay, who's next? Gleka's mayor already has it. Sayap, maybe? Right, Sayap is a place where the governor got kidnapped, and there is a spy who will kidnap any other governor who shows up. Averillia definitely already... Yeah, we just... So, like, where's next? Well, I mean, Matanch is a fine place to do it. Matanch does not have a... Right? Then Janeldas? Yeah, Janeldas still has a hero. I told you we were going to start attracting some attention, right? Okay, at this point, I think we get endless alloys. So you can see, we're accelerating. And then once we hit the next threshold, I think we grab Serum of Iteru, and then it literally doesn't matter what, because, you know, we'll win the game. Just to, like, give us a little bit of a military boost in case somebody does come after us. We don't have to be able to win a war, we just have to be able to hold out. And it's when that third technology gets researched, when that victory notification goes up, that's when we will cash in all the stockpiles. And hopefully we'll have time to buy out a couple more. Oh, right. Now they own all of the oceans. So open borders with them is actually, like, really important. Well, I assume they're not going to give me a vision exchange. You know, maybe. No, absolutely not. That's a game loser. I always forget you can trade the endgame tax because, like, why would you? So yeah, we're not going to be able to make this happen. Can we make open borders happen? No, probably not. I need to wait for them to come to me. I could declare war on somebody on their behalf. What if I declared war on green? You know, declaring war on green doesn't actually... Hold on, I think they were more amenable to the map exchange? Yeah. Would you be willing to give me a tech? What a surprise. No. Oh, wait a minute. So they have 4 now, huh? Okay, so this game is over then, I think. Because, yeah, those are 3 that we don't have, and then we knew they had the science one. So, yeah, they are hard focusing. Well, no, actually, they're not. They've gone and gotten a bunch of other... The game is over, though. Because they're going to be able to trivially just finish whenever they want. Well, you know what? I am going to declare war on their behalf. What about an alliance? What about we just do an alliance? I'll give you the victory tech, and we'll just ride out of here with a shared victory. All right, keep in mind, this was available. Technically, if all our goal was to see any victory screen, that's it right there. We win. They win, so we win. I'm not going to do it, but we could have done it. Yeah, for now, just give me this. Doesn't matter that we're at war with green. Couldn't care less. This ends up being a fine place to put a spy because it does not have above normal research, or above normal security. And yeah, they're going to win the game whenever they want, basically. Like, if they just have to get through that last technology, and it seems like their science output is high enough that they can kind of do it whenever they please. I'm hoping that we will finish fratricide here before they get their thing done, just so that we will see the next step of the quest, so that's information that we have for the future. But yeah, it's a bummer that they're at 80% already. Yeah, it's just I'm a little too slow. We did better this game, maintaining a functional internal engine and like getting powerful, but it was not enough. We need to be looking at victory 6 turns ago, you know? Certainly not just working hard to get up to the 60% mark on our victory condition at turn 140. Lots of other victory notifications. Okay, that could not matter less. The Kapaku have joined us. Welcome to the game, Purple. It is interesting, I guess, in terms of informing our understanding of how the AI thinks of a shared victory. It seems like they don't really care. They don't view it as less than a non-shared victory, because if they did, then they would not have been willing to ally with us under any circumstance, right? In a situation where they're going to win without us, which is definitely what is already happening. So, good to know, I suppose, for the future, if we find ourselves in a position where I am so desperate that I'm like, you know what, I'll take a shared victory and we'll just count it. So now that we have vision of all of their stuff, we kind of get a better idea what's going on in the war. It looks like the Morgar just don't have a lot of troops, honestly. What does the military chart say about all this? Okay, Morgar are down from their peak, certainly. They have lost bodies. The Vultures have gained bodies. Almost 2.5 million military strength. That's tough to compete with. I don't exactly know how we would do that. Engaging with the military on higher difficulties is always pretty risky, and as I've said before, it's a very fragile strategy. You can commit hard to military and get very, very little value out of having done so. Like, when you put the resources into a food building or something, you know what you're putting in, you know what you're getting out. The expected value of that action is relatively predictable. Okay, so they were like on the turn before. But when you put resources into military units, even if you win that war, the value that you get out of the resources spent on any particular unit are pretty unpredictable. Because, like, if you build a unit more than was necessary to do the thing, then those are resources you have just thrown away. If you build 3 units more than you needed to do the thing, that's a considerable amount of resources you have thrown away. And if you are trying to ride that line, which you have to on Impossible, if you're trying to ride that line where you're producing just enough military units to fight a war, but also you're trying to divert as much stuff into your internal growth buildings, your food buildings, or your science buildings and stuff, as you can, trying to min-max that line precisely. It's a little nerve-wracking. If you can take a couple of AI cities early, it's huge. It's very worth the investment. If you try and fail, you've lost the game for sure immediately. And so I'm a little leery on it, but it's looking more and more like it may be a thing that we have to at least try to open up the possibility. Now here, in this circumstance, we did not really even have the choice, right? There were no other players available for us to pick on. So here, it was all about me building up my internal engine, and I didn't do it good enough. Frowny face, thumbs down. Had things been different, like what would have had to have been different for us to try it here? You know, honestly, if our island had Hyperium, so that we could have gotten some of the, Imperial funding stuff going during the era where you can actually research it instead of 2 eras, or the first era where you could research it instead of 2 eras later, I bet that would have been enough, because we weren't really that far off, right? We were getting victory techs in 5 turns each. We had some stockpiles. Like, I bet we were less than 15 turns off of a victory, and having those buildings running 15 turns earlier, and it would have been much more than 15 turns earlier, right? Like, yeah, that probably would have been enough. It would likely have been enough for us to be able to put up a military force sufficient to at least affect the players around us. Because we had to put such a large percentage of what we were doing into the victory plan, we had very little effect on the outside world, which is always going to be a risky strategy in its own right, having no effect and just hoping that people don't outpace you. Because the AI sure can outpace you, especially if they can consume another AI. So let's have a quick look at some of these charts real quick. Obviously, we know that the Vaulters exploded in a way that's completely uncontrollable. So let's call this unstoppable victory. Let's say we could have done nothing. There's no way we could have fought them. There's no way we could have slowed them down. You can see that if our victory falls at like turn 120, 130, we still get there, right? This is the victory pace we have to be aiming for. On this difficulty, victories after this are absolutely possible, but they become... The point at which an AI is going to do this is a little unpredictable, you know? In terms of expansion, of course, they're eating up everybody's cities, green in particular. In terms of population, you know, we were outpacing purple and pink on a lot of metrics for the entirety of the game, it looks like, which is nice. They finished the victory tech while stopping off to grab all kinds of other stuff. How much science were they actually producing? Okay. That's 68,000. That's 68,000 per turn. I would like it to be noted how well I was doing relative to everybody else, including the other players I was competing with on the science victory. This is really good. We were doing really, really well. How did this happen? I have no idea. That doesn't seem like that should be feasible. Of course, blues, yeah, you know, as a function of industry and dust, they're sort of a function of territory. Lots and lots of influence. They did fall away from 100 approval, which is really something for the AI. And, you know, diplomatic points and stuff. We were second on diplomatic points. By some metrics, we were really hanging in there, y'all. You know, to be perfectly honest, by almost any metric, I would say it's fair to say that we got second place. Second place is not how you win games, though. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we're gonna try this again. That was better. It was way better, I might go so far as to say. I feel like I'm sharpening up, and hopefully we will just continue to sharpen. Ardent Mages again, at least one more try before we give up and go on to someone else and come back to them later. So come back tomorrow for that, and we'll see you then.